There's always one video that every YouTuber hates to make, and that's a video that has a very sad story. Unless, of course, you have a happy ending to outweigh the sad story you're about to tell everybody. And that's what I have here for you today. So get yourself comfy and strap in for this very sad story that ends very happily, I might add. So, here's what's been going on. My missus nearly died. A few weeks ago, nearly a month ago now, out the blue, with no warning, she just collapsed. And I don't mean hold your stomach, bend your knees, fall over type of collapsing. No, she collapsed like a fucking brick. Total panic stations set in. So I quickly phoned an ambulance and tried to keep her stabilised while all at the same time trying not to shit myself. So after being rushed to hospital, it was found out that she had fluid around her heart, which was kind of stopping her heart from beating a lot. And some of the fluid had leaked around her left rib cage, and together that also collapsed her left lung. So, you know, her heart not working right in the lung, she couldn't breathe right. And the doctors then put her under life critical, and saying that basically it's 50-50 whether she will survive this. Now, before you all start getting your hankies out at this point, crying and saying fucking whatnot in the fucking comment section, just remember this sad story has a happy ending. We're not at the happy ending, we're still in the sad bit, okay? Right, man the fuck up. So yeah, it was 50-50 on whether she would live through this or not. So I think you'll understand now why I disappeared without so much as a fucking comment. You know, no offence guys, but love all of you, but my missus comes before anything. So after 3 very scary days in intensive care, she pulled through. She survived it. Some of the fluid was taken out. It was a risky operation. I won't go into details. It's very scary about needles next to her anyway. But she survived. She pulled through, and that's the main thing. But she spent another 9 days in hospital, requiring a lot of care before she was ready to come home. And that's where she is now, back home, very fragile, meaning that I have to do a lot around the house or everyday stuff. Basically, I've got to pitch in more. So now that I've become this beacon of responsibility, stop your laughing. Shut up. I can be responsible. But joking aside, it's going to take the missus a very long time to get back on her feet 100%. You know, she's still going to need a lot of help with things, which means I can't put as much time into the channel and upload videos. Now, I'm not stopping. I'm not going to take a break or fuck all. I'm still going to put her first, but in between, I'm still going to upload or try to upload videos for you guys. And I'll get into that in just a little minute. So that's what's happened, guys. My missus nearly died. She's alive. She survived the whole thing. She's back home and she's on a long road to recovery. But the good news is she's on the road to recovery. But before we go into what I'm going to do next, I would like to give an honourable mention to Gary and what has been happening with him. Now, we've all just heard the sad story of my missus, but my sad story has a happy ending. Unfortunately for Gary, his story doesn't have a happy ending. You see, very recently, and unfortunately, Gary's father has passed away. And this is why Gary's been quiet of late. He's now saying goodbye to his father and he's dealing with the rest of his family. So, peace out, big man, rest in peace, and our thoughts go to Gary and his family in this difficult time. And now you all know why me and Gary have been quiet lately. So now that we have successfully made you all completely fucking miserable and sad, I better cheer you up and tell you what's happening next. The plan, so to speak. So let's get a change of scene, get the fuck out of this office and go and find another background. So what happens now? My missus is home, she's alive, it's all great news, but I am now practically a full-time carer for the next few months or foreseeable future. So if I'm spending all day every day doing everything and helping my missus out, how can I possibly put time into making videos? Well, I was talking to Gary about this, and he put an idea in my head which I think will work, and this is what we came up with. So I have a few videos on my editor that I was working on before I had to take a break and look after the missus, but that's not enough in itself because I don't have the time to keep other videos going. But I do have an old channel with some of the funniest content I've ever done, so I'm going to mix the two channels together to keep this channel alive and entertain you guys, while at the same time having the time to look after my missus until she's on her feet properly, and then I can come back full time. So there you go, that's the plan, that's the compromise that me and Gary have come up with to try and keep this channel alive. I think it's a great plan. I don't know what you guys will think about it, but from the day I upload this video, the first video being uploaded will be a week on Sunday, I think. I'll need to check my brain, but I think that's the right one. So, with all that said guys, I hope you're all well, and I'll see you all soon. But she was in hospital for another 9 days after surviving this very near life, this near, for fuck's sake. But joking aside, it's going to take a while for the missus to get back on her seat, back on her feet. Fuck me, anyway, I'm respondable now. Responsible, fucking stupid. She's alive, she's back home and on the road to recovery. It's a long road to recovery, but it's a recovery on the road as it... Did I just say that backwards? But before we get into what I'm going to do next, I would like to give an honourable, oh fuck.